Hello friends, welcome to Susie's Unique Designs. Today we're going to be making a beach themed wreath using a work wreath frame, some 21-inch white mesh, some 10.5-inch mesh, and a few rolls of navy and white and burlap ribbon. So let's get started. I'm going to just drop my mesh on the floor. We're going to do the poof method. Starting off here. So I'm just going to fold it down a couple inches here like this. So I just folded it under. Then I flip it under like this. And then just gather it together. And it just protects the ends from getting frayed. Okay? And so then it will make your mesh kind of face down. And I like to start on the top. So I'm just going to start anywhere and put it in about, probably we're going to place the mesh about an inch or so. So you just have a little bit of, so it doesn't pull out. And then pull your twist tie just once tightly. Then you're going to, let me move my camera just a little bit here. So then you're going to just make sure your edges are folded under. And we're going to do about 10-inch poofs. Okay, so I'm usually on a work wreath frame, you skip one and go to the next one, like this. Pull it back, and that's about, let's see here. Let's just make sure I have my mat on the floor here. It's approximately a 10-inch poof. Okay, so we're going to do that starting on the top all the way around. I'm just going to push it down into the twist tie and just twist it one time. Okay, we'll just kind of have this poofed up just a little bit here. And don't worry if you can see the frame. By the time we're done, you won't be able to, because we'll have ribbon on there and we'll have other mesh. So you don't have to worry about a thing. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure our edges are under. Skip one twist tie and come over to the second one and back again. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want them to be one really huge and another one really small. You want to have some sort of a balance. So just, you can either go all the way around and then poof it up, or whatever you prefer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep going around here. I always like to do the poof method, just kind of to get your base, just as a base, I guess you could say. There's many different styles that you can start with. So you can look on my channel. I have different methods that I do, different styles. You can pick what you like to do. You don't have to measure each one. You can just kind of eyeball it. And as you do more of these wreaths, you'll get better at it all the time. Just kind of eyeballing how big the poof should be. Some people start on the bottom and some start on the top. So whatever's more comfortable for you. And then we get back to this first one again. I'm just going to go over to that one. And this goes pretty quick. This will be a nice full wreath on someone's door. So the first one that I started with, I'm going to open it back up again and push this poof down. Okay, so we'll do that. There we go. Now you're gonna be, some people will cut this one off. I prefer just to continue on down below. Okay, so I'll just go to the first one here. I'm just gonna bring it down to the first one on the bottom now, and just kind of snug it in there tight. I'm not making a poof, I'm just pulling it down here. I'm gonna twist it once here, and it will be just like this, so you can see. So here's the top part, I just came right down. Now I'll continue on with my poofs just like I did before. Okay, so I'm just making sure my edges are down, because that helps with, so it doesn't fray so much. Okay, I'm going to continue on with my poofs all the way around. Okay, I'm back to the first one on the bottom, so again I'm going to untie it. And then I'll just cut this off and put it towards the back. So I'll leave just a couple inches so I can pull it in the back. Okay. Still have a little bit left. We just have a little bit left on our roll to use for another project. Okay, now I just need I like to do a zip tie, so I'm just gonna show you. So I have just this little part, I'm gonna push it towards the back. I'll flip my frame over like this, and I'm just gonna get a twist tie, or a zip tie, I should say. Put that right on here so that it's nice and neat. You want your work to always be nice and neat. Okay, there we go. Then you can cut your excess deco mesh off here. There we go. Let's see, and then I guess, let's see, I'm gonna get some other scissors to cut off my zip tie. I don't like to use my ribbon scissors to cut off zip ties. Okay, I'll just push that down so it doesn't scratch the door. Okay, so we have our first layer done here. Just like that. So that looks pretty nice. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to our next layer. So we gotta cut some other deco mesh, the 10.5. We'll set that aside for a minute. So like I said, we have 18 twist ties, plaid mesh. This is 10.5 inch. Fabric mesh. I like this. It's really nice to work with. It's nice on your hands. Just get my mesh in here real quick. Make 22-inch cuts. Okay. So I'm going to set this, I'll just continue. I'm going to make 18 of these. Yeah, we'll make 18 at 22. Okay, so we're going to do the ruffle and curl method. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the inside, this here, that was from my mesh that we just cut. This helps your curls look really cute. And so you need a couple little clips. Is lay something heavier on this, on one end of your roll, okay? And then you're gonna take the other end, take your little cardboard roll that you had from your mesh. Okay, so we'll take it like this. We're gonna roll it. We'll go once, oops, let's roll it here. Once and twice, like this. Just roll it twice. Then we'll take one of our little clips. You can get these at the Dollar Tree or take a chip clip. Okay, so we are gonna clip one end, flip this around, and do the same thing on this end. Okay, so we'll put our scissors down here or something heavier, your pliers or whatever. Do the same thing over here. We're gonna roll it one time and two times. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pinch right in the middle. Just kind of find the middle. Pinch it teeny tiny and just walk your fingers right up the mesh. Okay, so just go right up the middle here, right up the middle, all the way till you get to the other side. Pinch and gather, and then you have a little ruffle that has the two little curls in it. Isn't that cute? Okay, then we'll add that to our wreath frame. Okay, I'm going to start on the top, so we'll just open up our twist tie, or you can add it right on top. I like to open mine up, so whatever you prefer. And you can have it facing up, or you can have it facing down. And I think with this one, I'm going to twist it, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to face it, well, let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm going to face it down this time. So we'll face it down and twist it one time. And we'll just have it just like this. So we're doing it right in the middle here of our poofs. So this will help give it a little more coverage. And then we'll add our ribbons on when we get done with this. So I'm going to do this all the way around. Okay, I'll show you again how I did that. Take a piece of your mesh and you have the curl side facing up like it naturally wants to roll on itself. Okay, so we'll put something heavy on one end. Come over here on this end, take your little cardboard end there, okay, and I'm just going one time and two times to protect the edges. Okay, and then just clip it in the middle there. Flip your mesh around. Do that again. Once and twice. And then pinch in the middle like this. And then you're just going to walk your fingers. I'm just using my thumbs to kind of push it forward and just walking my fingers right up till I meet the other end like this. When you get almost there, you can kind of pinch this one too. Then you have your little butterfly wings like that. Okay, and then I am facing it down like this into my wreath. Open up your twist tie and push it down tight to the frame so you don't have a loosey-goosey kind of wreath. You want your everything to be nice and snug. There we go. See, and it's just like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I'm just going to show you this. So I did one burlap and I skipped and I just did that all the way around, every other one. Okay, so now I'm going to cut some of the white and I'll put the white curls. And I already cut a clean edge on this one earlier, so I just need to cut this out. So I need 9 pieces at 22 inches. One of the things that is nice when you make a wreath is when you use different types of mesh, it gives it depth and texture. And I guess when you do different techniques, I should say as well, we did the poof method to kind of give us a base, you know, and then we have this here that is very pretty, gives it some more texture. It really makes your wreath stand out, and it's different from other people's. And just so you know, all mesh will fray, but the better the quality of mesh, the less it frays. So just remember that. So we're almost done here. We just have 2 more left. Okay, we got this all done here now. I'll show you what it looks like. So see how thick it is? It's nice and full. And let's see, I bet you this is about, let's see here, how big this is. This is approximately, by the time we get our ribbons on, it's going to be about a 24-inch wide wreath. And it will be probably, let's see, probably about 8 inches thick, 8 or 9 inches thick. So, doesn't that look pretty though? You could use this for all kinds of different themed wreaths. So, and we're going to start cutting our ribbons now. So we're going to cut 9 of each one of these at 13 inches a piece. That's my preference. What I like is 13. So see, we have the burlap again, and that will tie in with our sign, which I will show you our sign again. Isn't that cool? Oops. Okay, so we have that one. Okay, so now we're going to cut our ribbons. We have 2 1.5-inch ribbon and 2 of the 2.5. And so I just am using my bow maker. I'm just putting my ribbon on there. And then I have something, you don't have to have a ribbon tail board, but these are nice. So this is called, oops, push that in there. This is called a Measure Buddy. And I get it from Unique in the Creek. And it's pretty cool. So what I'll show you, what I'm going to do is, okay, so it goes, you can pull each side out like this, and you can measure your ribbon that way. So I'm going to go here. We're going to do 13 inches here. So it has a little clip here that you can use. And I always like to put this in here like this. Okay, so let's go to here, and then I'm just going to pull some ribbon out. We're going to do these, we're going to do 9 cuts at 13. So we'll just do, now they have another clip that you can put on here too. I usually just use the one. Okay, and then what you can do is after you, up here they have a little indent on the bottom and the top. So you can just cut them like right when they're on here if you want. So you can cut multiple ribbons at one time. Okay, we got that side done. Okay. So this is just nice when you got to cut multiple ribbons like this. Instead of doing them one at a time, you can just wrap it up here. And then you're done with that set. Okay, oops. Ribbons is I dovetail the ends now. And so you can take, if you have good scissors like I do, you can take 2 or 3 at a time. Take 2 or 3 ribbons at a time. Okay, and I'm gonna just take and fold them up here like this. Like this, I just fold it like this in half. And then where the seam side is at, you're gonna cut it at an angle. And you just need about half an inch or so like that. And there you have a pretty dovetail. So we'll do that on both ends. Make sure your ribbons are together and even. Fold it in half and then just cut it off just a little bit. Okay. We'll do that with all of our ribbon as we cut it, okay? So we have a nice dovetail. Now that we got our ribbon cut, we're gonna do ribbon packets. This just makes it easier as we go around and add them to our wreath. So I decided to do these 2 together and these 2 together. So you're just gonna take and put them on top like this. I'll move this out of the way here. Okay, so you can either do it where you add these right in the middle like that, or you can add them on the top. So I like to add them more on the top like this. But you're gonna take it and then you're gonna fold them in half, just like this, and set it aside. So you're gonna do that with you're gonna group your ribbons together and then you're gonna do that. So that just takes a moment. Okay, then you're gonna take your packets and you're gonna alternate them back and forth, just like we did before. So then when you're putting these in your wreath, you don't get them messed up. Then have the same one or whatever, and then you could just put a little twist tie around these and you got them grouped together. So, okay, let's bring our wreath back over here. Okay, our big mamba jamba. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my wreath packet here. My ribbon packet. Let me show you this before I do that here. So I'm just opening this back up and I like it towards the top, and then I'm just gonna, where we had folded, here's your middle right here. We're just gonna crunch it up in the middle. We're gonna gather it teeny tiny like this and kind of put this is wired ribbon. You only wanna use wired ribbon, by the way. And then you kind of make them like an upside down V. And you're just gonna add that right into your wreath. So for this one, I'm gonna add this right into the white. The white ruffle, I should say. And I'm gonna twist it once, twice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it like 3 times, okay? That's good enough. just to make sure it doesn't come undone. So it's going to look like this. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to start on the inside again. So then the next one will be the plaid and the polka dot blue and white one. And we'll add that into the tan ruffle. So I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'm just pinching teeny tiny like this, and then I'm just using my fingers, and you be the boss of your ribbon. It's wired. Make an upside down V, and then we're going to add it right into our wreath. Push it in there tight so that it's nice and snug. Twist it about 3 times, something like that. Run your fingers underneath the ribbon, and it kind of poofs it up a little bit. And you can just leave these. You can trim them off if you want, but these are decorative, so I just leave them on there to give it. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so here's the top that's done. Let's see if you can see like that. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now I'm just going to keep going on the bottom. There we go. We got it all. Isn't that pretty? I think it's just gorgeous. Just so nice. Now let me show you the sign again. I'm just going to set this in here for a minute so you can see. But isn't that going to be pretty with that in there? What happens if we did a staple here? Never used just a regular staple. Well, that worked pretty good. So this is just a regular stapler. Okay. So I'm just gonna find the center, and this is a little thicker. So sometimes what I do is I will, to make it longer, is I'll make it like this. And let's see if our glue is ready yet. Yep, it is. I just stapled it and glued it here, and then I have a long piece here. Okay. So I'm going to do that in 4 places. I think while we let this one sit just a moment. Okay, so what I did is I just made a little loop with, I took 2 pipe cleaners and put them like that so that there's a little loop. The customer doesn't have to use that, but I always like to put one on also to hang it so I could take pictures of it as well. Okay, so let's see, where's my loop? Here it is. There we go. Let's see here now how this looks. See, if you don't have it too snug back there, you can kind of move your sign around, adjust it just a little bit how you want it. There we go. Okay, so this is how it's looking. Isn't that nice? I think you can see that there. There we go. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll put a couple still photos on my website here. I'll put a couple still photos on my channel so you can see it on the door. But I think that turned out really pretty. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you'll like and subscribe so you'll be notified when I put more content on my channel. Thank you so much. Check this out. It's so cool. What a fun custom order that I did.